Hello everybody, welcome to Product Weekend. We're really excited and honestly pretty nervous to be here. We've never done this before and we don't really know how it's gonna go. Essentially the idea was we wanted to build a product together. We've been talking about that for a while, but we never really found the time. We were sort of stuck doing our own thing the whole time. And then we realized we could just take a weekend and we could try to build an entire product. And we thought, if we take a weekend, why don't we live stream the whole thing? Because we're idiots and we like to make our lives much harder. So this is that. We have literally nothing planned in terms of product, zero plan. What we have is we basically spent the entire day setting up the live stream. So we've got camera right there, camera over there. We've got the fanciest audio setup ever. We've got everything planned out. We hope it's gonna work. But essentially we're gonna be live for 72 hours.
Yeah.
Now, quick round of introductions, I'd say, so everybody knows who we are. I'm Max, I'm just going to start. I'm a React developer. We're all from Vienna, by the way. We're sitting in beautiful Vienna, Austria. And I'm most widely known for making style components and React boilerplate. And I currently work at Gatsby as a staff software engineer, so I'm employed full time. Toby, why don't you go next?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Toby. I'm obviously from Vienna. I'm working as a freelance consultant doing React stuff. And I'm creating Split.io, that's an analytics platform, in my spare time.
Nice.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Timo. I'm also a React developer from Vienna. It's pretty hot right now, so
it's so hot.
So that to get this one out of the way, it's pretty hot. But tomorrow it's going to be a lot cooler.
Pretty hot, for reference, means it's got 34 degrees Celsius right now.
Yeah.
And supposedly we haven't even reached the hottest temperature of the day. It's gonna have 35 degrees. So it's freaking hot in Vienna.
Yeah.
But what can you do?
What can you do?
That's the way it is.
Back to my introduction, I'm working mostly on PS Tunnel at the moment, which is a Shopify plugin. But I love to do everything around the stack, which means full stack, backend, frontend, illustrations, also landing page designs, UI design. So I love pretty much everything, and I'm super excited to see what comes out on Monday.
Yeah,
we'll see that.
Lawrence.
Hey guys.
Last but not least.
Yeah, I'm Lawrence. I'm 23 years old as well, and I'm art director and product designer at a company in Vienna. I'm currently employed part-time, and in my free time I'm also an aspiring React developer and just released my first app this spring.
Nice. All right, so what are we actually going to be building over the next 72 hours? By the way, we've got the chat. We've got the setup with the chat everywhere. So if you write something in chat, we're not going to ignore you. We're going to see everything. If there's any questions that we should answer, just put them in there.
What are you going to build?
What are we going to build? That is exactly the question.
We're Softgang, yes.
We are all familiar with Vercel, which used to be called Zeit, and it's a hosting platform. And they have a really nice feature when you're authenticated in their site, where they have this feedback button in their nav bar. And when you click it, it opens up a form where you can give feedback about the current page, and they log, user information and whatever. And then they can triage the feedback really nicely. It's sort of like a lightweight version of Intercom. And we thought, why don't we try to build that? It's a small enough thing that we should be able to figure it out in a weekend and see. But also it's immediately useful because I actually want something like that for my own products, and we all do. Yeah. Because we want to get feedback from our users without having to really do stuff like live chat or something. So really the question is, what are we building, boys? What are we actually doing?
So we got a couple of thoughts already, which we could build, some things we could build, which is at one point the UI itself, which is the feedback bar or whatever you call it, which basically allows you to do some reactions, maybe like at input field, maybe a screenshot of the whole app. So if you encounter a bug, you can just press one button, or don't even have to press a button, and just send it over. But also the backend side of things, like how do we want to receive the feedback? Is it just a webhook or a Slack notification, or are we going to build a whole UI where you can assign people? I don't know.
I think we got to be careful what we can actually accomplish in the weekend, because we've got 72 hours, so not a lot. I almost want to say we start with just sending an email whenever feedback comes in.
Yeah.
And I think what's really important is probably going to be contextualizing the feedback, so it's not just somebody random said something about something, right? Like we should log which page they're on. Maybe if we can, a screenshot of the page, attach that, so if they report a bug or some visual glitches, you can immediately look at them.
Maybe we can even can include like a small like overview of their page flow and where they started and where they. Like
That would be
the-
nice.
the
Oh,
flow
that's a
of
good
the
idea.
page, like a little
Like
analytics
Sentry or something like arrow
Yeah,
handling, but
breadcrumbs,
just
yeah.
without the arrows.
So we can see like when did they feel like they need to give feedback because maybe it's what is yeah.
That's a really good idea.
me-
Like Sentry. We should write this down. Yes, we don't forget it. Hold on. Also, somebody take a look at chat, so we know what's happening over there. There's actually a question already. Will this be available later as a recording? Probably not. Mainly because we're going to be listening to music, because otherwise we're going to go crazy, and then we're not going to just listen to DMCA music, which means we can't really make the recording
It
available.
could be that the
afterwards.
music is
Possibly.
silent enough for
possibly.
it not to get picked up by the algorithm.
We're gonna try making just publicizing the recording.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But we can't guarantee anything really at this point. How will we charge for it? Pricing. That's another important question. Because we gotta find a good middle ground.
It's really depending on what we are going to accomplish at the end of the weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, free plan. I think that's something you should
I think a
offer
free plan is something
at some
we should
point.
include, yeah.
Because if I'm the developer, want to try it out, I don't want to pay for it upfront.
Yeah, I'd definitely do a free plan.
Something like 10 submissions a month or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, that makes
More
sense.
than that.
But how many people give feedback?
That's
if you-
actually a good idea. What if we charge? I didn't even think about that. But what if we charge per feedback per month?
Oh, yeah, I
It's
mean,
like-
usage based or just like a plan which covers?
No, like a plan which covers like 1,000 people
okay.
a month or 10,000 people a month.
Why don't you use Java? Is the question.
Whoever asked how we.
Who said we don't use
Because
Java?
we don't know
I really
Java.
hope
None of us
that's-
know
I
Java.
really
We're not
hope
going to
that's-
use Java.
That's a sarcastic
Cut
question.
the Java
I'm pretty
conversation.
sure it's
Yeah.
sarcastic.
In terms of stack, somebody asked about the stack that we're going to use. Definitely React,
Yeah.
because we're all React developers. Backend wise, also JavaScript, because we're all JavaScript developers.
TypeScript.
Yeah,
but
no.
TypeScript, of course.
but
Yeah,
JavaScript,
TypeScript.
yeah.
We're all TypeScript fans.
Yes.
We don't really know.
Yeah,
We should figure out how we're going to store the data. And
Maybe
how
we're going to down the Hasura route.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
Maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not. But
We don't really know yet.
But most likely it's going to be GraphQL. So
Yeah, definitely GraphQL at some point somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, stack-wise. Other than that, we really don't have much of a
Prisma,
plan.
maybe. But
Potentially Prisma. Maybe
we're gonna look into it.
Typeorm.
Yeah,
Typeorm.
We gotta
Typeorm.
figure that out. That's probably
Why?
the chunkiest
The
bit.
question is why are you doing it?
Because it's fun.
Yeah.
The weekend or the product or
Yes.
both?
Both because it's fun. Like I said at the beginning, we really always wanted to build the product together.
Yeah.
Right?
The camera
We've been
keeps
talking about this
refocusing.
for a long time. Yeah,
Can
forget
we
about
turn off autofocus?
somehow, but I don't know how.
Okay,
I genuinely don't know how. I'm sorry about that. We're gonna switch to the bigger camera anyway very soon.
Yeah. Use
Yeah,
React.
we're really just doing this for fun.
What? React?
For the
Yeah,
widget, that could
it
be
has to be fast embeddable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Might be an
that's-
idea, yeah.
that's not a bad idea.
Fine, yeah.
Selling performance, good point. Damn, this chat has been way more useful already than I thought. I thought we were not gonna get anything
Yeah.
back, but there's so many good
I thought we
suggestions.
built the product.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Why don't you use Moo tools? Okay, now we're getting into the real troll territory. I take everything back I just said about the chat. That is not very useful. We should figure out what we're doing though. We're doing this for fun because we thought it would be a fun idea, and we're live streaming it because we thought that would be fun
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
We'll see if it's actually fun. we'll give you feedback about this whole idea in 3 days.
Yeah.
Then we'll know whether this works out or not.
Okay, so now back to pricing, or did we decide
Yeah,
on
let's
something?
let's figure out pricing later. I think that's less important right now.
Are you gonna
What's the-
stream the code online?
Yes.
Partially,
If you
I'd
mean
say.
like just window-wide coding, yeah, then
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, not
But
all
it's
the
not
time.
going to be open source if that's the question.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe partly.
Or
Maybe partly, yeah.
We gotta figure that out too. But let's start with what do we actually start with today? What's the most
Use
important thing we
Angular
gotta do
and
today?
Wait, can we?
Hold on, Lawrence. Hold on, Lawrence.
Let's
Stop with
not-
the
let's
troll
not- let's not
questions.
talk-
Let's stop with the troll questions.
yeah.
What are we gonna get done today? What is the most important thing we should get done?
At least the basic setup
MVP.
for everything, for the backend,
Or yes,
like the tech stack with
Yeah.
all libraries we use.
And some kind of
the
basic
front
design,
end,
ideally.
Yeah.
Yeah, basic design.
Particularly for the widget. Like the two most important pieces of design I think are gonna be the widget and the marketing page.
Yeah.
Those need to look really good. The dashboard.
Especially more like on the
Whatever.
UX side, like
Yeah,
how we
yeah.
want the user to interact with
And
the
what
Yeah.
exactly does it
The
do
widget.
and why, right? Like, does it
Yeah.
have emojis or not? Does it have reactors
Yes,
or not?
yes.
Also, like how Vercel does it, it's pretty embedded into the system. It's like it matches their
Yeah.
design. It's like what
Yeah.
one
Theming.
input, yeah, and theming it.
Theming or
like intercom does just insert a button which goes anywhere, I guess.
Yeah.
But something like that has to be a bit more themable, probably. Or maybe we just do it custom trigger where you can make just an input, and once you click on it, we overlay
Just
our
a button.
widget.
Yeah, we could do that.
Input which acts as a button.
Yeah, we could do that. We did the same thing at Change Feed.
Okay.
And then users can technically decide what the trigger looks like themselves and make it match their design. Then the question is just how do they make the widget match the design, right?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't go too crazy, but some customizability.
Yeah,
would
some
still
customization.
be,
At least the color should matches their color scheme, right? That would be nice.
Exactly.
Do you think code-wise, or should it be a UI in the backend?
A UI in the backend probably, because code-wise, what users.
I mean, like if you import the React components, or do you import an iframe, or?
Yeah, that's also
That's also a question. Oh.
Do we want to target all apps or just React apps?
Do we do this specifically for React apps? I mean, that makes some things easier, like theming, but it makes our total market much smaller.
Yeah.
But for V1,
I mean,
maybe
we
it's
could do
not
both.
really.
Like for React sites, it's
I
a
mean, we
component.
could do both. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the widget itself is gonna be React or Preact.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be hard to expose it as a component as well as an
Yeah.
iframe. So but maybe we can
Maybe
actually
we
do
could do
both. Yeah.
that'd be nice. And then honestly, we can just do the Slack themes. They're just a list of like 7 hex codes or 8 hex codes. And they have a UI for making that list happen, right? But it's
you see
just
in
a
real
list.
time what
Exactly. And so what we could do is just have that same thing just as a query param on the widget URL, right? And then it just has the colors in there. Or you set it in the backend. That's a little bit more complicated because if we set it in the backend, then we have to fetch it first before you can actually display the widget, which is kind of annoying.
I think maybe we
If
should
we-
put the mic a bit closer. It seems a bit like on the lower side of the.
Should be alright.
Yeah.
Should be
Okay.
Do
alright.
people complain, or is it just?
Someone just said it's a bit low. but
There's some. Oh yeah, somebody said it's a bit low. Yeah, sorry about that.
We can
Thanks for saying that. It's really cool, Darmy. This try is freaking incredible. The widget may need to differentiate positive feedback from negative feedback. Users will also inevitably use it for customer service questions. So a quick way to route feedback internally may help. Yeah, we're gonna need integrations could be really powerful for this, right?
Yeah.
And then maybe we could have like types of feedback. So you could give like bug report, feature request, whatever, right? And then you could sort of route them to different integrations based on which type they are. But that gets really complicated really quickly. I think for now,
first we can have this bug or feature request and just add it to the mail. It's feature or bug, and later on we can decide on.
I think a good first version would be just send an email, and then we add the dashboard.
Yeah,
where you can
I
see
think
all
that's
of them.
the second priority to have a nice dashboard.
Let's see how we are in time. Well, I could imagine we were like tomorrow morning we were done with the first feedback submission.
I mean, that's something we could like build simultaneously pretty good because
for sure.
Like 2 people for the widget is enough. I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
agreed.
Okay.
So let's talk about what we're going to do for the backend because we're going to need that decision right now.
Yeah.
We're most familiar with Prisma and TypeORM, I think, right?
No, TypeORM and TypeGraphQL. But
I'm most familiar with Prisma. You guys are most familiar with TypeORM and
I mean,
TypeGraphQL.
I don't care. I mean, if I should do it, then.
I mean,
okay. Let's use Type. That's a good. I like that.
Prisma seems more simple, I guess, but
Prisma I think is less stable though because it does more stuff.
Yeah.
Like the version 2 is
and
just
I also already have like a basic setup for.
That's nice. Yeah, then we can just copy that.
Does Prisma do some GraphQL stuff, or is it just all the way database?
No, it does with Nexus, but it's not that stable.
On Nexus,
the last time I tried it wasn't that stable.
Yeah,
I mean that's like half a year ago, but.
No, I think we shouldn't try that.
Okay, let's do TypeORM.
Okay.
Let's do TypeORM just for practicality.
It just works, yeah.
Let's do TypeORM, and then where are we gonna host the backend?
Oh, is it going to be serverless?
It doesn't really matter. It's easier.
No.
No. Yes. No.
Yeah, it's easier because it's just functions.
Yeah,
but like the database point is one thing. If you all got that, like, are we going to do like FaunaDB or something like that?
No,
I mean, I haven't used
no,
it. So
no. That's way too. I made that mistake once. I'm never taking a freaking modern database ever again. I guess we just throw it on Heroku or something. Does that have database hosting?
We have
Postgres implement.
Because then it's easy. Because that's easy then.
Okay. Heroku then.
So we know the backend. It's just going to be a Node.js server, I guess.
Yeah.
Written in TypeScript.
Yeah.
So we got to figure that out. Do you have a build system for that?
No.
I thought you had a setup ready.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, but does it build stuff or does it just like what happens to the TypeScript code?
Yeah. That is.
So it does have a build setup. Okay,
yeah.
cool. So we can deploy that on Heroku.
Are we using Docker or just?
No, I wouldn't
No.
use Docker. That's too complex for
Yeah,
a single
no.
setup. Let's keep it simple.
Yeah.
Don't need it.
Then the widget's gonna be a React component, and that's gonna be rendered on a page, which is the iframe.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Mhm.
Quite a bit of suggestions in the chat.
But what about the?
Any good ones?
That's for you to decide. Not my speciality.
Redwood. Oh yeah, Redwood would actually work pretty well for this, but it's Fubi. Sebastian just said RethinkDB. He just said RethinkDB would be a good idea. No, it's not a good idea. I tried that. Not a good idea. Definitely not using RethinkDB. Sebastian, stop trolling us. Sebastian Fubi is a friend of us from React Vienna. He's an absolute troll in reality. Oh yeah, that's actually a good idea. We should define. So Marco suggested that we define 2 to 3 shared values so we can make quick decisions, right? I think one of them really has to be keep it simple.
Yeah.
Right, we don't have a lot of time, so we have to keep it as simple as possible, where it's the easiest thing to implement, and then we go from there. Right, the thing we're most familiar with. Quality needs to be really high because it's such a small thing.
Yeah.
It needs to be really polished. So I think polish is going to be like quality over quantity. Like I would rather have fewer features, but those be really high quality. And so we cover fewer use cases, but the people's use cases that we do cover, we cover like 1,000%.
Yeah.
Right, I think that makes more sense for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really any other values you think we need? That's a really good suggestion, Marco, because it enables each of us to make
Better decisions.
Nikos asks, how much sleep per night? Probably not that little. Like, because if it was a single day, like a single night, we could just work through it. But because we're here for 2 nights, if we get little sleep, we're just gonna be dead. By the 3rd day, we're not gonna get anything done. So we gotta make sure to ration ourselves and not overwork.
But I think it depends on the progress. Like,
yeah, it depends on the progress. Yeah, if we're really far behind, the last night we're gonna just work straight through. I think definitely.
And on the hype as well. If
Yeah,
we
yeah.
are really hyped tonight.
Maybe we keep working. Yeah.
Get a bit later.
What snacks do we have on hand? Oh, we can plug our sponsor. We actually, believe it or not, we have a sponsor for this live stream. That was the most insane thing ever. So there's this Austrian company called Saturo, which makes basically like
our food for the next
our
few
food.
days.
It basically makes like liquid food. I've personally been drinking Saturo for 2 years now, and I really like it. And so I randomly just called him up and I was like, hey, folks, we're doing a live stream. Why don't you give us a bit of Saturo to survive for the weekend, and we're gonna plug you in the stream. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm plugging them in the stream. Actually, and we went there today and we talked to them and we got the Saturo and blah. And actually, they've given us a discount code as well for you all. So if you go to the Saturo homepage, if you enter the discount code productweekend into their discount code box, you can get this taster pack, which has all 4 different flavors and 2 bars in them, for half the price, I think, for 10 euros, which is
50% off.
Amazingly cheap. So that's really cool. Now I've plugged our sponsors, and now I feel way better. That weight's off my shoulders. Woo! I've literally never been sponsored before, so this is really awkward. I've literally never been sponsored before. But I do actually love Saturo. That's why we called them out. It's okay to be dead. Somebody said it's okay to be dead. If we're dead, we're not gonna get our products done at all. I don't think. Is the goal of this weekend to have the product built, or also to have users live live on the product too? That's a good question. We thought we would build the product this weekend, and then on Monday at 9 a.m., which is midnight San Francisco time, launch on Product Hunt. And then really get it live to users. Which I guess is still the goal. I think that makes sense. And then we're gonna pop the champagne and freaking sleep for a week straight, which is actually not true because I gotta work on Monday.
Me too,
So that's gonna be fun. That's it really. Anything else? We really need to design for the widget at first. That's the most important thing.
I mean,
we gotta get
depends on our product decisions and
we
the core decisions about how we want the users to give their feedback.
What do we think?
That's really the most important part for the design.
How should the widget work?
I think so. UX-wise like the Vercel widget, so just button invokes a small text input and maybe just a category like bug or feedback.
I wouldn't do
Or feature.
categories. Maybe you have like an emoji or something to select, and if you select the sad emoji or the angry emoji, it automatically gives you an option to give feedback or like, oh, what's wrong? And
So
if it's
emoji
positive,
first.
maybe like, hey,
That's an interesting idea.
what do you
Emojis
like
as
about-
categorization.
I feel like it's if you just press the emoji, it's not like the place I feel I have to go when I want to give feedback. It's just I can tell them how I feel, but I want to tell them something, and I'm not sure if the emojis are.
If I see there's bug or feature, then I know I click bug because I encountered something bad, and then I just click on it. And
Yeah, I mean,
simpler. I mean,
considering everyone knows what a bug is, that might not
Yeah,
always be
or-
the case.
Yeah, should we, honestly, I think maybe the most important thing is going to be the user information that is attached and the screenshot. That could be the most important thing rather than categories or emojis. Because that is like the
Yeah.
most,
Yeah.
like that is the most high value information.
Yeah,
you
for
can
the
get, right?
but not for the user.
No, not for the
Just
user,
for
but for our customers.
Yeah, for
right?
our customers. Yeah.
Because they just want feedback and they want to
Yeah,
get as
but-
much information out of the user as possible.
But we need to like incentivize the user to give their feedback.
I think if something's broken and they click on the feedback button, they want to give feedback anyway, right?
Yeah.
Like that's sort of the you know, like at that point they've already they already intend to
Oh,
give
I
feedback.
have an idea. Maybe we could like connect if you have like an exception in your code, you can trigger the feedback widget to like
come up or wiggle.
come up or wiggle or something.
Oh,
That could
kind of like
backfire, but
kind of like Sentry, but
I mean, it's
Yeah.
not
With the
you
UI.
could just
Yeah.
custom implement it, not like always
Yeah, or you can
triggering.
disable it.
Yeah, you can-
yeah.
Just
we,
on
we can make that
specific part of
configurable.
the
That's an
code,
interesting
not
feature that we can think
everywhere.
about. Yeah, but I think that's the second step. I think
Yeah,
for now.
definitely.
oh yeah, maybe we can just like build in a wiggle mode, or which you can enable by code, so you can plug it into your Sentry. So once Sentry crashes or something like that, you
Yeah.
can make it wiggle.
Yeah, Giuseppe just had a great suggestion. He said, I'd start from a text area and submit button, and then think about what feature you wish existed, which is I think is a good idea. I think we just start with the text area and the submit button, because that's the most minimum thing.
Yeah.
Then we attach the invisible information.
Yeah, regarding the image or
information.
video upload, I would not give the user the opportunity
Yeah.
to upload their own content.
Yeah.
It's just in the background.
Yeah, because there are some libraries that can put your DOM into an image.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So render it.
Somebody said that we could let users rate on a scale of 5 stars, which then anything less than 3 stars is like an immediate negative feedback,
Yeah,
or like a bug
that's-
report.
I have seen that before.
But let's say
Because that
That's
at
always
least
hard
splits
to-
between, but that at least splits between feedback like, oh, I love this product, which is cool to know, but not really that actionable, versus, oh, this is broken, you gotta fix this.
Yeah, but then
Which
I
I think is
would
interesting.
rather do like thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah, that's even
because
easier. Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
something in between, 3
Yeah.
stars, and so.
What does that mean?
yeah, let's say
that's
one
true.
button is broken, and I'm like, is that once the review it sounds kind of harsh
Yeah.
just because that one thing is broken.
Daniel rightfully points out, be careful of screenshots that capture PII sensitive info, because if we capture a screenshot, maybe it should be like an optional thing where users can say, I want to attach a screenshot or not.
Yeah.
Right, like some kind of checkbox that says attach a screenshot of the
Yeah.
page or
Yeah.
not, because otherwise,
Mm.
because then it's their
Yeah.
choice.
I know that
Like
Hotjar does like some masking,
Yeah, but that's really
but
hard.
that's hard. Yeah.
That's really hard.
That's really hard, yeah.
And not lightweight.
no.
I
Especially
mean,
for
if you do it
the-
in the client,
Especially for the implementation, it needs to be custom integrated for each,
Yeah,
each
yeah.
site.
I mean, I think it does like inputs and stuff which are masked by
that's
default.
good, yeah.
CSS
okay.
or something or so.
That would work.
Yeah, you could think about that for sure. That's a good suggestion. Yeah, I think it makes sense to just start off with with just an input as a bit
simple,
button, and then we can add a checkbox when we add
Yeah.
screenshot support if
Yeah.
we add screenshot support.
I think we can think about the 2 most important questions we want to ask a user if they want to submit feedback, and these are like, is it bad or is it good? I think there's no in between. Like, I mean, there could be
Yeah.
a suggestion in between, maybe not, but that's not what we're aiming for. I think suggestions is like optional.
But is it so important to know if it's good? I mean, I read the feedback.
I mean,
either
it's,
way.
it's
so
important
Yeah.
for the user to like they instantly know what they want to express. Like if we ask them like, hey, did something go wrong? And they say yes, and then they can put in their. Like,
so you want
what
to
went wrong.
make a layup up front.
Yeah, maybe we just ask 2 questions up front. Like, did something go wrong,
or when do you ask a question? It's like it should be always there. So are we always asking a question? Did something go wrong? It's like
no, just
you're
when you
assuming
click
something
on the,
has to go wrong.
just when you click on the feedback widget. Because at this step we don't know if it.
That seems like just one extra step, which is like, okay, I know this button is broken. I want to report it. I go into the input button. This button is broken, and otherwise I have to. Am I happy right now? Am I sad? It's like for some cases it works.
Either way, you need to choose if it's like a bug report or.
Do you have to?
No.
Like if we just have an input, if someone says the button is broken,
how are we going to categorize?
We don't have to. It's nice to have, but it's not mandatory.
But it's very important for our customers to have.
But if someone writes the button
if
not
it's
working,
just a text input and you get like 100 emails, say it's just an email implementation in the beginning.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
You literally don't know if any of these emails are good
if
or
something
bad. You
is
have
broken,
to click to
it's much higher priority.
So we really need to tag if something's bad or good.
I think in that case,
at
I
least
would rather
bad
do,
needs
like
to be tagged.
thumbs up and thumbs down, just optional.
That's the
right?
but I wouldn't start
and
with
if
is
you
it good
don't,
or bad.
I would do optional.
We can think about how we want to ask a user to
but you're right. Because thumbs down is way more important than thumbs up. Like literally, thumbs up is nice and you can look at that. But if we can pre-categorize that, we actually take a lot of mental load off of our customers, right? Because they don't have to think about it. They don't have to read it. That's a good point.
I think the best way we can go about this is that we collect feedback, or like maybe we have our own feedback from other products. Maybe the chat can help. That we just have a list of potential stuff that can come into this feedback widget, and so we can say, okay, this UI would have worked with that approach, and the other stuff wouldn't. So maybe we should brainstorm a couple of potential use cases, some feedbacks.
Okay.
I like that. So the most important thing for us is, so we're doing a text input. It has some kind of thumbs up, thumbs down, or is good is bad mechanism, whatever that looks like specifically. So we can differentiate between no selection, which is a suggestion probably. Thumbs up, which is just a good comment, like I love this product, which isn't that important. And thumbs down, which is the important stuff.
This is the important.
And then as a first step, we just send an email to the user who actually set up the account. We just send them an email with every single feedback item. And then the next step after that, we can think about whether we build a dashboard or whether we build integration first, or like what we actually do. Does that sound like a good plan for today?
Sounds good.
That sounds like a plan,
Sounds like a plan?
Okay, so
nice.
I'd say me and Lawrence are going to make a co-designing session maybe.
Yeah, sure.
And we try some stuff out. And you guys maybe
the front and back end.
Front and back, or who's going what?
Front and back end.
Okay.
Pair programming. Need to help him a little bit.
Ooh, that was a harsh comment. All right.
Okay,
let's get set up. We're gonna move to our battle stations. Oh, you folks haven't even seen our setup. We've been looking at our setup the whole day, so it's not that. This is incredible. We spent literally the entire day carrying all of the stuff here. So we all have our battle stations here. Just look at this. Just look at this. How good does that look? All right, we gotta fix the mic. We gotta fix the mic.
We gotta fix the mic.
Yep.
We should update us.
How are we gonna get this into the spine without unplugging it? Timo. How are we gonna get this into the...
We're gonna be back in a minute. Maybe we can...
Just unplug it quickly and plug it
No,
in.
let's turn this down. Can you lift your laptop? Yeah, I think.
Mama, maybe you will share your screen while designing a little bit.
We can
Yeah,
do that.
That's a good idea.
Maybe that's.
I'm gonna set up the to-do so the progress
Yeah,
bar
I
is
mean,
correct.
we are in Figma, so
Yeah, we
it's
can-
going to be
Mhm.
shared anyways.
Yeah.
So
Is the mic working again?
Hmm?
Is the mic working again?
yes, I think it is. Can the chat
Cool.
confirm? But I think it should.
Oh yeah, I gotta open the chat again. I gotta get my iPad.
Yeah, I think it's working.
Sorry, chat. I'm ignoring you. Wait, where's my?
What was the product name? I'm just reading. It's also a point we.
Oh, we
have
gotta
to
figure out the
address.
product name. Okay.
Yeah, that's something
Let's
we have
let's do that later.
not thought about.
Oh damn.